So it's live Q&A time right now here on NFL Daily by Chat Sports, and also shout out to the Cowboys Report channel as well. So we want you to both use hashtag NFL, get your questions here on the show, or you can super chat like my man did here. Andrew Vanderpool, does this mean we are looking to draft someone early?
This, of course, in reference to the Travis Frederick retirement. I think there is a chance of them taking somebody early, but they do have Joe Looney. They do have Connor McGovern. Now, I think interior offensive line at minimum now is a need. You probably want one more body there on the inside. I don't think they have to take somebody early. So if they fall in love with a Cesar Ruiz or Tyler Biadasz out of Wisconsin or Nick Harris or somebody, that does make some sense. I think from that perspective, it's possible. I don't think the Cowboys here have to go that route.
Let's get in this other super chat rolling in here from Valero DC4L. In my opinion, I think Travis Frederick retired because of all the things going on with his Gobert.
The big C.
Yep, the big C. But that's just me. He is a family man.
I mean, I don't want to speculate what impact that had or has on Frederick's decision. I don't think he mentioned that in his statement. But look, he's been through I might not have football game before. So my inclination is this might have been in the works for a little bit longer than that. But this is another big name player retires before the age of 30. Frederick, Kuechly, Luck, and even Gronk technically too.
All right, remember to use hashtag NFL to get your questions here on our show.
Or Super Chat.
Aiden, do Dallas save any money on the retirement of Travis Frederick?
Well, they saved the base salary side of it, but when I was looking at the contracts earlier today when this initially broke, the way it's set up is they had restructured Frederick a couple years ago. That money was still being paid out. If they cut him, and that's how retirements are treated, they saved like under $1 million. So they do save a little bit. I don't think you're going to see the Cowboys go after Frederick's signing bonus money, the restructure bonus, which they could do. I'll need to double check and make certain, but I don't think there's much savings to be had here for the Dallas Cowboys.
Let's go to Marius. What up, Marius? On a scale of 1 to 10, should Dez Bryant go back with the Cowboys?
3. Dez doesn't fix your receivers issue.
Play center.
And he doesn't play center. Like Dez, there's a spot for Dez in the NFL. I'm not convinced it's actually for the Cowboys. I need a slot receiver right now. That's never been Dez's game. Yeah. I need a return man. That's not Dez's game anymore. I need guys to help me on special teams. That's not what Dez is going to do. So you could go that path if you want to. Just don't bank on Dez Bryant being the guy.
Marius, appreciate the question. Remember to use hashtag NFL, or you can super chat. Let's go to Jimmy Maskey. Appreciate the question. Can the Cowboys get Everson Griffin? Is there interest?
Not at the current price tag, I don't believe. The Cowboys are hesitant to spend money above $6 million per year. That's like in terms of outside free agents. So if Everson Griffin comes down to 8-ish, maybe they can have that discussion. I don't think that's where they're at right now. I think Griffin can get more from a different team. Maybe a team that misses out on Clowney, for example, could throw $10 million or so his way.
Let's go to my man Blake Hibbert. John Ross trade. Hashtag NFL.
I think it makes some sense just because Ross does have value. Like former first-round picks can get you something.
Yeah, they have value.
The Bengals,
speed, value.
If John Ross gets traded, I think it will come during the NFL draft. If the Bengals take a receiver in round 2, if Denzel Mims is there, for example, or something along those lines, they take a receiver early, then maybe they shop John Ross. The team might take a flyer on him. I think he's worth a 5th or 6th round pick potentially, which I think could help the Bengals. But I also wonder if Cincinnati gives him another year and tries to see if he can be a guy with Joe Burrow. I don't think you do it without getting a receiver on that roster. Why would you take away potential options from Joe Burrow? That's not a great idea.
Totally agree. Let's go to Kevin Otto, who is a Bengals fan. Has Andy Dalton's salary prevented him from getting traded? I don't really think so. I think it's, $17.7 million?
Yeah, I don't know if it's the salary that's the issue for Andy Dalton.
It's the market.
Exactly. They're just, like, we saw Tannehill get traded last year, and they could have done something similar, but there weren't that many teams in the market for an Andy Dalton type this year. The Patriots aren't interested. The Bears took Nick Foles over Dalton. That really dwindled it down. So Dalton will not be back with the Bengals at his current cap hit right now. I think that's a potential issue. And I don't think that they're just a reactive situation. Like, they're not going to pay Dalton $17 million right now. But I'm not convinced it's going to end up being a trade for Dalton just because the market didn't turn out the way they wanted it to.
Totally agree. Let's go to why not? What up, why not? Logan Ryan to the Chiefs would be a good move for that. They will need to cut Watkins. Yeah. So you cut Watkins, you save what, like $14 million or something like that? Could even be like 21.
And you can pay Logan Ryan, and then you can quickly you still actually have some money left over if you want to work on a Chris Jones and actually bring his cap hit down potentially. I like the idea of Ryan. You lost Kendall Fuller. I think Logan Ryan can play a similar role as a nickel corner. I don't think that Ryan's market has been what he was hoping for.
Yeah.
I think that Ryan wanted to get $10 million plus. Chris Harris didn't go for that. So I wonder if you're going to see Logan Ryan instead taking a one-year prove-it deal somewhere. And the Chiefs make sense that because they're a Super Bowl caliber team. That type of option, I think, is alluring for a player like Logan Ryan.
So if you're looking for a new NFL jersey, Tom and I, we found some pretty awesome ones. Go to chatsports.com/jersey deal. So we know we got our Cowboys fans watching. We know we got our Chat Sports team watching as well. We got NFL jerseys for all teams. Cowboys, 49ers, got them all. But once you go chatsports.com/jersey deal, use promo code free ship. Get yourself some free shipping and deals under $80.
Yeah, we'll put that link in the comments and the description of this video for you guys. That way you can just have it and go shop. It's chatsports.com/jersey deal. All types of teams, so not just Cowboys fans. We got you guys covered. All types of NFL teams are out there.
We got a super chat now. We're rolling in from Pablo Torres at number 17. Draft Epenesa or Gross-Matos?
This is, of course, about the Dallas Cowboys. I don't like Gross-Matos at 17. I would almost go Caleb Chasen, and maybe you could talk me into a Zach Bond potentially, but I don't love that fit. Epenesa reminds me a lot of Tyrone Crawford. I would almost prefer a truer, bendier edge guy. So those are options. In terms of who would I rather take, I think I'll go with Epenesa of the two. That's a close.
Despite his bad combine?
Yeah, but I knew he wasn't a great athlete. I was when he was a bad athlete.
Yep.
I think I'd lean more toward Epenesa of those two.
Let's go to this next question rolling in here from JD, who looks really excited judging by his question. It's a $5 super chat. This is why Joe Looney resigned for a one-year deal.
Yeah, for those of you that don't quite know what we're discussing here, the Travis Frederick retired from the Dallas Cowboys. See that lower third there, that breaking news for you guys. The Cowboys did bring back Joe Looney. They actually used for Looney the NFL's new version of what the NBA calls their mid-level exception. You can pay a player extra money without it counting against the cap. You want only to do that for a few guys. Looney was one of those players. Maybe the Cowboys had a bit of an inkling here.
Continue to get these questions rolling in here. You can super chat or you can use hashtag NFL like Aiden did here. Do you think New England Patriots going to choose a quarterback? Is New England Patriots going to trade a draft pick?
Okay, so two different Patriots questions here.
Yep.
Whatever quarterback the Patriots draft, if it's early, I think they'll end up being good. Because fit matters a lot more in the NFL than we really want to acknowledge. And Patriots are a very good fit for pretty much all quarterbacks. That's just like the reality of where they're at. Trading down, I think, is very possible. Now, we'll see what the Patriots do. They still have a good defense and a great special teams as well. Great defense, great special teams. I could very well see a scenario in which the Patriots trade down in round one, acquire a future premium draft asset to go up and try and get Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields potentially next year.
Bring in another question rolling in from Ben Purvis. What do you think of the Eagles trading back and drafting Xavier McKinney? So, curious what you have to think about this one. I like Xavier McKinney out of Bama.
I don't mind that option. Like McKinney, I think comp-wise actually is fairly favorable to Malcolm Jenkins. Like in terms of what Alabama asked him to do and what the Eagles asked McKinney or asked Jenkins to do, there's some similarities there. So I do think it would be a good fit for the Eagles and for McKinney, but They also got to figure out receiver and linebacker. And even, I'd say, still corner are bigger needs right now than safety. And you can fill those draft needs out later. Getting the extra draft pick intrigues me. You can still take McKinney, get a great receiver in round 2, a good corner with your extra second or extra however far you end up trading down, and add some linebacker depth as well. So it's an option, but I wonder if you're better off sitting and taking a receiver at 21.
Let's go to Gotham Guy. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Remember, to get your question on the show, you can super chat. Last year, there were rumors of a safety Jamal Adams trade for a first round. If the Jets were willing to take a second round, would the Cowboys be interested, even with the acquisition of yes.
The issue with this question is that the answer is yes.
Yes.
And the answer is yes for like 31 NFL franchises. And that's why it's not going to be for a second. Because someone will offer a first-round pick. The issue for the Jets, Cowboys, and the Ravens were involved in those talks, and there was a third team I'm forgetting. They wanted more than just the first-round pick.
Yeah.
So that was the issue there. So, yes, they've been interested in just Cowboys in general. Xavier Woods, Clinton Dix, short-term contracts going forward. Safety is still in the cards early in the NFL draft.
Another super chat rolling in. Appreciate you, Gotham Guy. Let's go to Bro Cave. Should the Cowboys trade for Greedy Williams? So I agree he was a player we talked about a lot.
He slid.
A lot.
Why would the Browns trade him, though? Like, that's the issue. Like, sure, the Cowboys should make a move for Greedy Williams, but, like, why would the Browns take that path? I don't see Cleveland moving on from Greedy after 1 year when he's probably going to be their CB2 long term. Sorry.
So we want you to subscribe. Don't miss anything this entire offseason. So we are simulcasting on our main Chat Sports channel and our Dallas Cowboys report. So whatever channel you're watching on, click that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you know exactly when we go live, or when there's breaking news like, I don't know, Travis Frederick retiring from football. We got you covered the entire offseason, so click subscribe and turn on those notifications. Don't miss anything, because even though the Big C slowed some people down, it's not going to slow us down here at Chat Sports. Let's go to iDiego_10 using his question, hashtag draft. Raiders trade down from 19, take Lamb at 12, take Delpit late first, Diggs or Terrell in the second round. I mean, if the Raiders were to do that, I'd be on board for it.
Yeah, I think that's a really good plan.
It's an incredible draft.
And frankly, I think it's actually very realistic.
Oh, I think them trading down from 19 is very realistic.
You can get Lamb at 12. I think there's at least a reasonable enough chance for that one.
Yep.
Then you'd be able to trade down. Delpit, I think, will be there late round 1.
Yep.
Now, I don't know if you're going to get a true second. You have to move down way to the back end of the first round to get that second rounder. But if you do, I'm not sure Diggs will be there. Maybe Terrell will be there, but there will be a corner there in general.
I know they like Terrell, especially the fact that he's
Clemson
played at Clemson and played with Trayvon Mullen.
So I think that's a really good plan there for Las Vegas.
I like the idea, Diego. Let's go to why not, right? Because why not? What do the Cardinals do after the DeAndre Hopkins trade? I will say that I want Jamar Chase next year.
You might have to suck again to get Jamar Chase next year.
You and a lot of NFL teams want Jamar Chase.
He's gonna be one of the best receivers and another strong receiver.
Do you think Jamar Chase, if he came out this year, where do you think he'd be? Because we've talked about Jamar Chase's talent.
He'd be right in there with the big four, and we'd be arguing over which one's the best, just like we are right now.
That's how talented Jamar Chase is.
He's very good. So I don't know if you'll be able to get Jamar Chase in round 1. You can get a receiver again next year. So, look, the Cardinals, I think offensive line, especially right tackle right now, is one of your main areas of focus, specifically in round 1.
Let's go to Tom, not your typical beast. How much money does Frederick's retirement spare?
I need to double-check it. I don't think it's very much. The way I understand it, and I could be wrong here, so I'll check in again tonight. With the way that retirements work, they are counted as basically cuts or releases or trades. Like, you have to still pay what was guaranteed to the player. Now, you can choose to go after that guaranteed money. I don't think the Cowboys will go that route. I don't think they'll go after what was a restructure bonus and counts really as an extra signing bonus for Travis Frederick. So, in the end, I think you're only going to end up saving $500,000. Under $1 million in the end with the loss of Frederick. Now, you'll save money, of course, there next year, but that's going to be an issue for the Cowboys this year. Of course, you got plenty of money.
Let's go to Mr. Marsh. Mr. Marsh, you look like a missus. Get a picture. Any chance the 49ers trade for OBJ this offseason? If so, What would the 49ers have to give up?
Niners fans are once again all in on Odell Beckham, and I respect your desire to land him. I don't think it's that high. I think in reality it's probably fairly low. Look, I think in reality Beckham will end up sticking with the Browns. The Niners could pursue it again. Maybe 31st overall entices the Browns. They could get a safety, but they'd also still need a receiver there. So in the end, I don't think you're going to see the Browns trade Odell Beckham. Now next year, if it fails again for a second straight year, maybe it makes a little bit more sense. Now, what we're going to do now, folks, is we're going to keep this live on our Cowboys Report YouTube channel. So if you missed any of the breaking news around Travis Frederick, that's all coming up right now.